What's up, y'all? It's your boy Eric Flo. We live from Brooklyn. Let's get straight into it. In this video, I want to talk about accepting SR and Nofap as a relapse journey. So let's get straight into it, right? Now, the reason why I say that is because a lot of y'all already know, if you've been on the journey long enough, you done had enough relapses where you know that it's going to have to be a lot of relapses that's going to happen before you get to the point where you can conquer yourself. Now, number one, the point I want to make is that you have to accept that you lived your whole life as a victim, right? Because you decided to use the site as a coping mechanism. You was already going through stuff in your life, right? Now, here you go and decide to always be watching the site, making yourself weaker, depleting your energy. Of course, you wasn't conscious of that, but you were pretty much, which makes it even worse, is that you were an unconscious victim. You were unconsciously victimizing your life by doing that. It's like unconscious victim. That's just what that is. You were going through stuff in your life which inspired you to want to hurt yourself. Little did you know, obviously. Now imagine having to accept that. Me, for example, I've been having a addiction to the site since about between the ages of 10 and 12. Fast forward to 22 when I found out about the journey. Now this is where my next point comes in at, where you accept it as a relapse journey, is that I was a victim my whole life, coping and confiding in the site. Now, when you decide to hold yourself accountable, you are now stepping out of that victim mentality more and more every day that you wake up and you embark on this journey. Every day that you wake up and you embark on this journey, you are better than you was yesterday. You are more inspired than you was yesterday. Imagine relapsing for 2 years straight, but you have a strong enough mentality to be like, I'm still not going to give up. That is why you accept it as a relapse journey. Hear what I just said. You've been relapsing for 2 years straight, and you still could wake up the next day and be like, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to embark on this journey again. That's what I mean by do it again, not relapse again, but I'm going to embark on this journey again. Even though I've been struggling for 2 years straight, I'm going to try again. 4 years go by, like me. I've been practicing Nofap since I found out about it in 2019, right? February 2019, found out about the journey, been relapsing ever since. We are now in October 2020, and I'm 26 years old. That's about 4 years. And I'm still able to get on camera and face myself and still help others and help myself. That is powerful. That is powerful. You have to understand that. You have to understand that every time you accept yourself after a relapse and you're willing to embark on the journey again, whatever depression that you feel like you have, and it's not real depression. That is anxiety of you being excited that you wanna get this journey so bad. You just like, I want to be on 90 days so bad. So, bro, you gonna get there as long as you don't quit. You're not really depressed, right? Accept this journey as a relapse journey. You need to stop defining yourself and being depressed, because the only thing that you depressed off is the day that you want. The day that you want. One thing I can say about my journey that I've learned about myself is that I have worked harder and been more accountable, been more strong-minded, been more sharper. These past 4 years have been the best 4 years of my life. These 4 years have been the best 4 years of my life. These 4 years have been the best 4 years of my life. You see what I just did? That is how you conquer this journey. You don't say that I'm not going to feel good until I get to a certain day on the marker, on the calendar. You still confiding in exterior things. That you can look at the counter on your manhood app, or you can look at the counter on your, you got a calendar. Like I used to do in 2019 when I didn't know about the app. I literally went out my way to buy a calendar, hung it up on the wall, and would scratch off every single day that I didn't relapse. And then look at that and allow that to make me feel good. Bro, you are missing out on so much. Bro, open your mind. That's what I had to start learning how to do, and I feel like I'm finally able to do 4 years later. So hopefully what's powerful about what I'm doing right now is that 4 years worth of things that I've learned about myself, I can teach you. So maybe you don't have to go 4 years and wait 4 years later to have to come to certain downloads and conclusions. That is why what I am doing is powerful, because instead of me sitting around, moping around, being a victim, quitting YouTube, taking a break off YouTube, I get right back on here, live from day one, because I relapsed on October 3rd. Today is October 4th. And I still could get on here and be like, you know what? I can help somebody with these things that I'm learning. Instead of me being a victim. You got to understand that this journey is a relapse journey because you are still shaking that victim mentality. But now 4 years down the line, I don't feel like a victim no more. Because relapses don't make me feel like I got to jump out the window and do something crazy to make me feel better about myself. I can honestly say that that is why I would go and run 18 miles, run all of these crazy miles and do all this crazy 1,000 push-ups with a weighted vest on live. All of the craziness I've done on live, or all the craziness I've told y'all I've done on day 0, I was coping. This time on day 0, I didn't do anything crazy. I just gathered myself and I've been meditating. And that's another thing I'm extremely proud of myself that I've been doing. I've never trained this hard in my life. These 4 years I've been training harder than I've ever trained. I've been more focused about training than I've ever had. I've been focused about healing my traumas more than I've ever had, but doing it from a non-victim standpoint, not looking at it like how, oh my God, my dad wasn't there for me, or oh my God, my mom could have did this better, or no, I'm not even worried about what they could have did better. I'm looking at it, what could I have done better? I could have not been addicted to the site. I could have trained more, right? So now you take that and you do it now, because now, instead of you feeling bad about that you wasted 10 years of your life being addicted to it unconsciously, accept that you were an unconscious victim, that life is a journey and a process, a spiritual journey. You on your spiritual journey. You wasn't conscious, now you conscious. Number one, accept that. That is the only reason why you can even, look at things the way you can look at it in hindsight, is because you are more conscious. So instead of you being more conscious, but then going back to being a victim because of what you can see, like you literally being conscious, seeing things now because you're not a victim no more, you conscious, but then you turn around and you allow that to make you feel more like a victim. That just goes to show that you are battling with yourself internally from that unconscious victim that you were your whole life. So that's why you accept it as a relapse journey, because you shaking off things from things that you've been doing for literally 10 years straight, or however long you on your personal journey have been an unconscious victim, where you could turn around and be going through something that makes you feel uncomfortable and weak-minded to the point where you feel some type of way about it, and you weak-minded in that moment because you allowing it to make you feel down. You allowing something that you're going through to control your vessel to the point where you deplete the only energy that you have that can make you survive on this planet. That is the epitome of being a victim. Really let that sink in. Really let that sink in. That's deep right there. So once you accept this journey as a relapse journey, you'll accept that at least you are making better decisions than you were before. Because, for example, right, I don't even care if it's people out here that can't even go 7 days. But let me ask you a question. I bet you beforehand you was watching the site every day. I bet you beforehand you done had several occasions where you relapsed multiple times in one day. 3 days relapse. You know, on one day you bust 3 busts. And one day you done bust 7 times on numerous occasions. Or just watching it all day, or just always in your lust throughout the entire day. Even not on the site, just subscribe to women on Instagram or Snapchat where you can just always have access to it. Now, in hindsight, you're at a moment where you can be like, you know what? I'm not going to subscribe to that. You know what? I'm going to get off the social media. You're making progress. Wake up, bro. You're not defined by the days. You're doing better. Because even 7 days is great, right? You're making some sort of progress because now you at least go 7 days facing yourself, something that you never did in the past. So keep doing that. Keep embarking on that journey. And whenever you relapse, just understand that at least you're taking more time out to face yourself and be accountable and take action. You know what I'm saying? That is the beauty of this journey. That's the beauty of this journey. See, like for me, I have not been able to go, like, let me talk about my 7-month streak that I went on that everybody knows me for. That I went 7 months, feel me? 7 months, but I was still, you know, I told y'all after the fact that I was still peeking around and edging and all of that. Right? Hold on, give me a second. How you doing? You know, that's what they got to do in my shelter. They always come in here every hour and just do a wellness check, and they just peek in the room and just, you know what I'm saying? You know, imagine they called me in here peeking. I mean, imagine they peeked in here one time and I was relapsing. That's why I was like, you know, I could have things that I could like beat myself up about, but it's like at the end of the day, I've been making down bad decisions as an unconscious victim, so at least I can at least even say that right now and hold myself accountable and be like, yo, like I gotta stop that because I can't be relapsing in here. Like, this not even my house. Somebody could just walk in my door whenever they want to and just peek in here and be like, wellness check, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I say that to say, let me go back to my 7-month streak that I want to talk about. My 7-month streak, I was still coping, still fighting off that victim mentality. At least I was fighting back though. But I was coping. I was like, at least, you know, I wanted to be on a long streak so bad that I made up a reality of me being on 7 months, even though I was still watching the site and edging. But I didn't bust. But then when I finally did accidentally bust, you know, I felt like, oh my God, like I lost all my progress. But bro, I was literally already relapsing for the whole 7 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me even telling y'all that there's a possibility that they can do wellness checks and come in here and potentially, obviously I can hear them before they come in the door, so they would never catch me. But like, that's me also holding myself accountable because y'all don't have to know that information. Me telling y'all all of this information that y'all don't have to know is my way of holding myself accountable. You know, not being like, oh, it's people on the internet that feel some type of way about me and want to judge me and hate on me and make videos about me dissing me or be negative in my comments that I'm not going to say certain things. No, bro, I'm not ducking the smoke. I'm not ducking the negative energy. Do what y'all do, but y'all not going to stop me. I'm not going to allow that to stop me from being accountable. Never allow, like, if you the type of person that, you know, even me when I was in a relationship with Shorty, it never stopped me from still telling her every time I relapsed. Like, this is just what you do. This is the purpose of this journey. At least accept it as a relapse journey because you go from being an unconscious victim to now consciously being accountable. That's the first step of this journey. And you're going to be battling with that at first. back and forth for like being depressed, victim mentality, you know, because you allowing something exterior like the day that you won and an action that you took that was wrong to make you feel a certain way about yourself. When you really think about it, would you do that in all occasions? Would you, you know, go to a job interview and, you know, not get the job and then be down on yourself and be depressed for the day? Or would you not just look for the next job and just move on with your life? Would you, in the dating world, take a girl on a date and she decides to be like we all have our choices. She decides to just one day be like, you know what? I don't think you're the guy for me. And I want to try other men. And you decide to, I'm going to go watch Red Pill content and go watch them talk about why women are a certain way because she shouldn't have did that to me. But bro, stop coping. Stop coping. Just because that girl feel some type of way about you, what a real man would do is be like, you know what? Maybe I need to take that as a circumstance and maybe ask that girl and be like, you know what? This is what you should do in the dating world real quick. And then I'm going to talk about this in a separate video. For example, not even just the dating world. We're going to talk about in all circumstances when you get told no. In a job interview, if you don't get that job, maybe you should ask them, yo, from that job interview, this is where you go from being a victim to being accountable, consciously accountable. Yo, like, why don't you want to hire me? What is it about me that I can work on that can help me get a job because I need a job? So what is it that you can tell me that I can work on with my interview skills? You might even mess around and get the job at that point. You'll be like, wow, this guy is really smart, really respectable, really, really honorable guy. Really, really, really good guy. He's a great guy. Even a woman, you ask her like, you know what? You know, what is it about me that makes you feel that way that I'm not the guy for you? Maybe you can learn something about, you know, her that can give you the clarity that you need. Maybe you can learn something about yourself. Maybe you can learn something about women. Just learn something about the dating world, the ups and downs of just trying to find that woman. Because I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to learn through these red pill videos. You're going to learn through experience. Stop coping with red pill content and go out there and experience life. Stop being afraid to be told no. Stop being afraid to make mistakes. But see, that's what I love about this Nofap SR journey is that you still can't run away from that. You may run away from in other aspects of being told no and messing up, but you're going to eventually mess up on semen retention. You're going to eventually mess up on Nofap. And that is where it begins. You know, like, you know, we've been making our manhood weak, in turn making ourselves weak, and the things and the actions that we take weak. Which is why I'm in a homeless shelter instead of being in a better position in my life, because if I would have been more focused in my life, I would not be 26 years old in a homeless shelter. You see what I just did right there? Instead of being a victim, I'm being consciously accountable. Now, that is what I want you to do on this journey. Every time you relapse, be consciously accountable. You know, I've meditated more than I've ever meditated, listening to frequency beats, no social media. I ain't binging on rap music. I literally, after I get off camera, am gonna turn on the frequency. And I'm not gonna just be moping around, sitting watching videos that entertain me, that distract me. Why? Because I'm making that conscious decision to be consciously accountable. And it's going to get to the point where you used to be down bad about relapsing to now you've been on a journey for me 4 years now where it's like, bro, I'm not defined by the fact that I tried to go, you know, 40 plus days and I relapsed, because I've been trying to do this for the past 4 years. So eventually you'll start to come to realize like, bro, it's been 4 years. Of course I've made progress. And of course I'm not defined by the fact that I've relapsed. And then that's how you'll be able to get to the point where I'm at, where like I'm not sitting over here panicking and depressed about a relapse, where I can even get on video and be consciously accountable for thousands of people to watch me, one day millions of people to watch me. We're going to talk more about this soon. If you made it all the way to the full length of this video, I need you to drop a 722. If you got any video ideas and any topics you want me to talk about, let me know. If you need any advice, you want to holler at me, you want a consultation, everything you need is in the description below. Peace and love.